Hi, Revive fam. I want to share a word of encouragement with you really quickly. Now, I don't know who this is for, but I know that someone needs to hear this because what I'm about to share with you has been in my spirit all day. So I'm just being obedient and sharing this. And I pray that this reaches whoever needs to hear this. But God wants you to know that whatever you're facing, He's with you. He's with you, but you also have to fight. And that's the word he was showing me. Fight. Fight. You have to fight. He's with you in this fight, but you have to fight. God never promised that we wouldn't face challenges, that we wouldn't go through things in life. But what he did promise is that he would never leave us. He would never forsake us. He would never leave us to fend for ourselves while we were in the battle, while we were in the fight. I want you to think about Job in the Bible. Job went through just a traumatic amount of distress, a traumatic amount of suffering where he had to fight. And he lost his family. He ended up being in a place where his health was bad. His friends were talking about him. People were looking at him like, Job, what has happened to you that once you were in a place where, you were living on top of the world, and now here you are now. Your family has been eliminated. Your health is terrible. And it seems like you have nothing. But even when Job went through everything he went through, he never let go of God. Even in those moments where he felt like he was all alone, God never left him. He had to fight. He had to fight even though the circumstances, the situations that he saw in front of his eyes, it did not align with what God said about his life. It looked the complete opposite. He was at a place where it looked like the enemy was winning. But he still kept fighting. He still kept believing. He still kept trusting in God. If this is for you, God wants you to know you have to fight. When God created you, he created you for a specific purpose, a specific calling that you and only you can achieve. No one else can do what he called you to do. So because of that, you have to fight. You have to get past, to look past what you see. Even in those times where you feel like giving up and you're like, God, why? God, I don't have the energy. I don't have the strength to fight. But God wants you to know, even when you don't have the energy, even when you feel like you don't have the strength, he is with you and you have to fight. Fight past what you see. Fight past what you feel. We know one of the biggest things that the enemy does is try to deceive us. And when we're going through things, he's always there to remind us, to try to nudge us in a mindset of thinking that it's just not going to work because this is how it is. This is what it looks like in front of me right now. I can't see how this situation will ever turn around. And in those moments when we feel like we can't make it, in those moments where we feel like, you know what, I feel like I'm about to give up. I can't do this anymore. God wants you to fight. Fight for who He created you to be. The Bible tells us that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities, against powers, and against rulers of the darkness. Your fight is more than what you think. Your fight is for your life. Every time you find yourself in a situation where you're having to fight, this is for your life. This is for what God called you to do. Let me tell you, the enemy wants nothing more than for you to fold and to give up and to come to his deception of you thinking that you won't make it. Remember, Jesus already won. He already created the plan for your life. And the plan that he created is what? For you to prosper. He created you to have hope and a future. That means when you're facing these challenges, when you find yourself in a space where you just feel like you're about to give up, do not give up. You're fighting against darkness. And in the fight, God is there with you. You may feel like you're by yourself, but you're not by yourself. And sometimes you have to talk to yourself and remind yourself that God is with me. He's with me in this. Yes, I feel like that, but God, I know you're here with me. God, I don't see things happening. I don't see things working out for my good. Everything around me is falling. Everything is crumbling. Everything is just falling to pieces and collapsing. But even then, God is with you. Sometimes you may not be walking on your own. I love that there's a poem called Footprints. And it talks about how in the moments, the darkest moments of your life, how when you see the footsteps in the sand, when you're walking and you see the footsteps and you're thinking, God, I'm walking through this. I'm getting through this. It's hard. I feel like I'm about to break, but I'm walking. And God is like, no. Those aren't your footprints. Those are mine. I'm carrying you. So even when we feel like we're about to give up, and when you feel like you can't make it, you might feel like the next 5 minutes, you're like, God, I give up. And God is saying, don't give up. I got you. Fight. I'm carrying you in this. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. Fight, because I've called you for more. Do not give up. Do not allow the enemy to deceive you, because I created the plan. He didn't. So fight for your life. Fight for your family. Fight for your children. Fight for your marriage. Fight for your career. Whatever it is you have to fight for, fight. Because God is with you. And He won't let you fail.